For 3 centuries, humanity has danced with chance. From the gilded salons of the 18th century to the vast algorithms of the digital age, gambling has evolved into a global titan. What began as a private ritual for the elite transformed through grandeur, legislation, and technological revolution into a multi-billion-dollar industry that never sleeps. This is an investigation into the architecture of risk. We will explore how the house was built, how it captured the world's imagination, and how it always manages to win. Welcome. Today, we're embarking on a 300-year journey. From masked Venice to digital data centers, this is the history of gambling. Chapter 1: The Hidden World. In the early 1700s, gambling was clandestine. Private salons in Venice and Paris were the epicenters of a world defined by silk and secrets. Venice's Ridotto, opened in 1638, was the first government-sanctioned gambling house. It was a tool of social control, keeping the elite occupied while the state managed the flow of wealth. Games like Basset and Faro were the era's favorites. They were more than pastimes. They were arenas where reputations and family fortunes were staked on a single card. It was during this period that the mathematics of probability began to take shape. Thinkers like Pascal and Fermat were decoding the laws of chance, giving the house its first scientific edge. By the late 1700s, the fever spread to London's coffee houses. Gambling became a national obsession, leading to the birth of the first private clubs where the stakes reached unprecedented heights. Debt became a social weapon. The files of the era show how gambling losses were used to manipulate politics and enforce social hierarchies among the aristocracy. The Salon era established the human psychology of betting, but the Industrial Revolution would soon provide the means to turn this ritual into a grand spectacle. Chapter 2: The Temples of Chance. In the mid-1800s, the casino became a palace. European spa towns transformed into playgrounds for the global elite. The architecture was calculated. These temples were designed to disorient, removing clocks and windows to create a timeless void where the only reality was the game. Monte Carlo, under the House of Grimaldi, refined the high roller lifestyle. It offered a sanctuary for royalty and billionaires to risk fortunes with absolute discretion. This was the golden age of physical wealth. Ivory chips, gold coins, and the heavy physical presence of the house created an atmosphere of absolute legitimacy. As casinos grew, so did the need for regulation. Governments realized that if they couldn't stop gambling, they could at least tax it, leading to the first formal gaming commissions. The French Riviera became the global hub of high-stakes play. The records of this era describe a world where the outcome of a single card could decide the fate of entire companies. European casinos brought elegance to the game, but a new frontier was rising in the American desert, one that would democratize the thrill of the win. Chapter 3: The Neon Engine. Post-World War II, Las Vegas took the luxury of Monte Carlo and packaged it for the masses. The desert began to glow. Early Vegas was built in the shadows. The files reveal complex ties between casino developers and organized crime, a necessary partnership to fund the desert's expansion. The Strip became an economic miracle. It was here that the slot machine was refined, the first step toward the automation of gambling and the democratization of the edge. In the late 60s, Howard Hughes ushered in the corporate era. He began buying up mob-owned properties, bringing institutional legitimacy to the desert for the first time. By the 1970s, Vegas was an industry of scale. Billions were generated as the house edge became the most profitable mathematical certainty on the planet. The 80s and 90s saw the birth of the mega resort. Casinos became theme parks, masking the math of the house with a veneer of family-friendly entertainment. Technology changed the game. Microprocessors allowed for virtual reels, increasing the potential for massive jackpots while silently optimizing the hold for the house. Vegas changed the scale, but the next revolution would change the very medium. The house was moving from the desert to the digital pocket. Chapter 4: The Invisible House. In the 1990s, the internet dissolved the physical walls of the casino. Gambling became omnipresent and invisible. The first online casinos appeared in 1994. They bypassed international borders, creating a global market where the house was a server and the dealer was a line of code. The 2000s saw the poker boom. Television turned gambling into a sport. convincing millions that they too could beat the house with enough skill and data. Then came the smartphone. Apps replaced the green bays, and the speed of play increased exponentially. The casino was now available 24 hours a day, everywhere. Live sports betting transformed every moment of a game into a betting opportunity. The industry became a data-driven powerhouse, tracking every choice in real time. Today, data is the new gold. Casinos use sophisticated analytics to track behavior, optimize the edge, and ensure that every risk is calculated with precision. The rise of blockchain and cryptocurrency has opened yet another frontier: decentralized gambling that operates outside the reach of traditional regulators and borders. Digital gambling has no boundaries. From offshore servers to global mobile networks, the house has expanded into every corner of the human experience. We have moved from masked salons to massive data centers. But the core human drive, the desire to beat the odds, remains unchanged. The Epstein files are still unfolding. More documents could be released. But what we know is this: this case is bigger than one individual. But as the industry grows, so do the questions about its impact. Accountability and social responsibility have become the new battlegrounds in the ongoing story of chance. As the house continues to evolve, the challenge remains the same: understanding the systems that shape our choices. Subscribe to stay informed on the stories that define our world. Because in a world of chance, clarity is the only real win. We will continue to bring you the stories that matter. Because in a world full of noise, clarity matters. Thank you for watching.